Hi everybody, this is Mr. Schneider. I teach statistics honors here at Horizon. This is my fourth take. I am very popular today, so we're going to try and get through this fourth take as our last take. And knock on wood, we can make that happen. So, let me tell you what we've done so far in class. So far, we've gotten through Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 in Quarter 1, so that's our basics on data collection, how data is usually collected, and then how to display data. So your students were very much into the learned about some charts and graphs, some which they already knew and some which were very new to them. You can ask them about Pareto charts. They love those. Right now we are at the end of our chapter on probability. They're actually assessing on that tomorrow. Where we will go for the rest of the quarter is we are definitely going to get to Chapter 4 where we're going to study probability distributions. So what that gets into, we'll go over some basics, and then we'll talk about binomial distributions, and then a little bit more of the obscure ones of geometric, and then Poisson distributions. Hopefully we're able to get a little bit into Chapter 5, which is the standard normal distribution, the bell curve, and how that works. We've already talked a little bit about it, a tad, and you can ask your students about the empirical rule, which goes over bell curves, and then Chebyshev's theorem. Ask them about Chebyshev. They love to say that word. So that's kind of what we've done and where we're going in kind of a nutshell for the quarter. FAQs, one of the biggest things is we are very much sticking pretty strictly to the book as far as resources go. The reason we're going to do that is because it helps not only the in-person learners, but also our remote learners. If you're having some tech troubles that day, or you're absent for a day, and you see, for example, section 3.4 go up in Google Classroom, you'd be able to read through section 3.4. The book is very good about, having definitions and examples and formulas, and sometimes some charts and graphs, some explanation pieces in there. And then try that homework and then come with questions the next time. It's a very good book to kind of follow for that. As far as assignments go, you're going to have homework for every section that we do. For quiz grades, we're going to have a couple of sections of quizzes in our book. Every chapter we have something called a case study, which is it's a problem that is a little bit more robust than your homework problems. So you're going to be given some sort of bigger scenario. You'll have to make some decisions and answer some questions on that. I usually give a week for students to do that. It's open friend, open book, open notes, anything you need to use on that is perfect. And then you turn that in. And then at the end of every chapter, we do something called uses and abuses, where there's a scenario given, and they have to read through a little piece about how stats are used in a proper way versus a way they could be used improperly, and then answer questions on those. And like I said, I usually give a couple class periods for them to turn that in. And then they're going to have a chapter assessment each time. Usually we get to for quarters 2, 3, and 4, we get to do a project, which is very good. They are collecting data, they're analyzing, displaying it, and then whatever we're talking about, they are able to analyze it and give back to us. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that for quarter 2. Hopefully we do, because the students usually do a pretty good job on that and showing what they've learned so far. I want to end, I think I have about 45 seconds left. Some tips and tricks. Really put the time in. The more time you spend on this subject, the better you're going to be at it. It's a lot of learning very new stuff. There's a little bit of crossover with algebra, but we really need to pay attention, especially remote learners, and try not to be distracted by things happening. If you do need some other online resources, you can always check Khan Academy or YouTube. There's a bunch of things like that. And then we do have note sheets for the test, so take advantage of that. I am running out of time. If you have any other questions, you feel free to email me anytime. Thank you so much and have a great night.